Mariah, are you still doing okay with all your wedding preparations? Well, I'm making it along, I think. I was finally able to make a choice on a wedding dress just recently. I'll be getting it from a very famous dressmaker in France, so I'm looking forward to the final product. Really? What kind? Wait, send me a picture later. I want to be surprised when I see it. I can do that for you, but what's going on? These days you've really been asking me a lot about my wedding. I never really thought you'd care, since you rarely talk like you care about weddings. Well, I can see that your wedding's going to be amazing. And the place you'll be holding it has a past of being the place that all actors and actresses go for their weddings, right? That's all really starting to pique my interest now. Well, originally this place was only meant for people that knew a friend who has a friend, that sort of thing. But recently they've opened the place to more standard weddings. So we settled on going for this wedding hall, as it'll make for some amazing memories there. And because we'll be able to say we got married in the same place this actor did, and so on. Even having the ability to have a wedding there in the first place will leave you with great memories. Also, the one that actually got you into that place was your fiancé, Jason, right? I'm sure if it were up to you, you'd have just chosen any other normal wedding hall, right? Huh? I mean, I guess so, but now that I've kind of seen how gorgeous the place is, I think it's worth the extra bit of money. You're so lucky. You get to be married to a handsome man who has lots of money. You really won the lottery this time, huh? I don't really think of it like that, though. Actually, you should be saying that about someone like him. Okay. You don't have to be so boring about it. But I'm just saying you always have had this sort of luck with finding good people. I just wish at least one time you would have given one of those guys to me. But that's why I'm saying compared to most of the men you've had, this Jason guy is on top. I would really say he's my type as well. I wonder if he's really the type of guy for you. Of course he is, right? He has a perfect face and works as a businessman, right? I honestly never thought you were the kind of person to ever go for a man that amazing. I just assumed you were into the more simple kind of men, like those guys you've had before. Good looking and all, but just working a regular 9 to 5. Will you ever be able to marry someone like Jason who'll be working with his business all day and night and might not ever be home half the time? Well, actually, Jason's not all that amazing. Are you kidding? I'm sorry, but I don't see him as just some normal dude. I know that you've dated all sorts of men that might have had some cool things about you. But Jason's the first guy you're dating that has money. Hey, you should show me to one of his friends. He has to have a few that are single now with a lot of money as well, right? I'm not sure if he has that many friends, actually. I can't work with this. Are you saying you want to be the only one out of his sisters to become happy? What makes you think that's what I want? I suppose I can go ask him if he has anyone he knows, but don't get your hopes up. Thank you. I want to get married pretty soon too, so that I don't get left behind. You don't have to be in that much of a rush, Carly. You're still a bit younger than I am. And you should spend a lot of that time finding the right person for you while also taking care of yourself. Well, I want to become a young and beautiful mama. And also getting married to a well-off man will bring me lots of ease. I won't have to worry about a house or work, just money in general. You're so lucky, right? Once you've gotten married to Jason, you're going to quit your job, right? I am not. I plan to continue working for as long as I can. Wait, really? Things have really changed. You think so? I thought it was normal for couples to work jobs simultaneously even after marriage. I mean, prices for things have really gone up and such, so it only makes sense to work together to afford what you want. Well, when I get married, I'm never going to work again. You shouldn't say something like that just yet, though. You never know what the future's going to hold for you. Well, just make sure that you don't work to the point that Jason loses interest in you, okay? All you are to him is just some average working woman, after all, so if you can't be home to clean the house and please him, he might start looking for someone else. That's so right, but I'll be fine. Jason has a dream he's chasing, and so we've both agreed we'd work together towards it. And that's fine, but... Well, anyway, I look forward to seeing that dress later. And once you have a plan of how the wedding will go, can you send it to me? Huh? You want to know the planning as well? That should be fine, right? I just want to know for future reference is all. Okay, but... Chloe, hey, what's all of this? Are you really going to tell me that you and Jason have had a thing together? Oh, you probably heard all of that from him then, huh? Well, thank goodness, because I was not looking forward to having to be the first to tell you. This is all a joke, right? There has to be a misunderstanding somewhere, right? We're serious. I'm so sorry, Mariah. But it seems that I am the one that Jason sees as fit to becoming his wife over you. You and Jason being in a relationship together only started after I said I'd be marrying him, right? That's right. Before you said anything about marriage, I didn't give a crap about him. I just assumed he'd be another one of those boring guys with base pay that you'd be getting with. But the fact that this time you decided it would be a handsome man with lots of money that you'd marry, I'd say that's all your fault. You should know better than to go after someone that's out of your league. I mean, you weren't even planning to become a housewife for him, even though he makes more than enough to support both of you. So, from the start, you've been planning on stealing him from me then. Well, come on, Mariah. I'm the far cuter sister of us two, and I'm willing to do anything to make him happy. And that makes me the better choice for him, right? And one other thing, I've gotten pregnant from him. So we have no other options besides taking responsibility for this. I have known for a very long time now that you're a sly and selfish person. But I never once thought you'd go this far to take something, or I guess this time, someone from me. Why do you always have to come in and take things that aren't yours? Because it's my right to. And I didn't even have to work hard for him. One day, I just happened to come across him, and we took a walk to the park, and the next thing you know, he and I are at the bar making out with each other. I'm so sorry for stealing your fiancé from you when you were so close to the wedding. Ugh. It's fine, I guess. We may have only just handed in our marriage papers, but if he decided to cheat on me that fast, then I don't need him. I'm sure you'll find better use for him now than me. No matter how you try and phrase it, I'm sure deep down you are raging over this, right? You're just trying to act tough now so that I can't enjoy the moment. I'm not raging, but rather just sad that something like this could happen. The fact that the man I planned to have a wedding with was stolen by a family member who stabbed me in the back is just depressing. You're not going to come to the wedding, right? Wedding? Right, your guys' wedding is only in a few more days, right? I'm thinking that I'll just take your place in it and get married to Jason there. Even though that's the wedding I put all my sweat and tears into? But listen, if you choose to cancel it right now, you'll have to pay a large fee. That'd be a huge waste of your money and time, right? And also, I've always wanted to have my wedding there. So I was just planning to change the name of the bride and then take it from you. I'm sure that wouldn't be a problem for you, right? Consider it like a present to me for getting married to the man of my dreams. So the whole reason you've been asking me about the wedding plans is because you planned to steal that from me too? And what if that was the plan? You really are the worst person imaginable. Do you not realize how this all affects other people? Mom, Dad, Jason's family, me? Well, in the end, it was Jason's choice, and he chose me. I never once forced him to say that he loves me. All I can say now is that you've lost this time. So don't try and make me feel bad about coming out as the winner here. He was the one that left you for me, right? And that was because of how basic you are, right? So that leaves you to blame. I'm the one to blame? Who else would be? If he really cared about being with you, he would have never chosen to leave you after getting married. I'm just saying that you didn't work hard enough for him. If you really wanted to keep him by your side, you should have been staying home every day and doing the chores, cooking his favorite food, and getting ready for bed with him. I don't ever want to see you again. Why don't you just plan your own dang wedding? I highly doubt any of the people that are planning to be at my wedding are going to be happy to hear that you went and stole it from me. Well, that's the thing. Mom was the one saying that all of this is okay with her. Huh? I'm sorry, but both Mom and Dad know about this. When I told them at first that I'd be marrying Jason after all, they were beyond shocked, but when they had a chance to think about it, they said they were okay with it. So they're both on my side, and I'm sure they'll let the rest of the family know that this is all okay as well. I doubt that means that they really are okay with you stealing him from me, though. No. They even told me that he's much better with someone like me rather than you. Is that so? I wonder if that's what they meant. Maybe that was just them saying that in a world where I was never with him, he might be a good match for you. Hey, can you make sure to handle the divorce paperwork and turn it in soon for me? We plan to get married tomorrow, so it'd be best if you have that handed in by the end of the day. I don't want to have any issues at the office with you not leaving him or something. I am really never going to see you again. Well, by doing that, you'd be saving me a lot of drama. Jason and I feel the same way about you anyway. We have no plans on ever having you around us while we're married. So please keep to yourself from now on. It'll make things so much easier. I will. Well, I look forward to becoming more happy than you soon. And send me your new house's address when you have to move out so that I can send you pictures of our wedding. Thank you so much for introducing me to such a perfect man. Hey, Mariah, are you okay? I heard all about this from Carly. That little girl really has no respect for anyone besides herself. And I was told by Jason that he does want to leave me. We've only been married for a month, and yet it's already over. This is the worst day of my life, Mom. What did I ever do to deserve this? Mariah! My husband was stolen from me, and now the wedding that I worked so hard on is being taken over. Can you believe this? This always happens when it comes to Carly. And she told me that you're completely fine with her marrying Jason? She told me that you guys said it was all okay? I wouldn't say we agreed with all of it. But come on, Mariah. Isn't it great that your sister and Jason get to be happy together? What? I was completely fine with you getting married to Jason, but your dad was a bit hesitant on saying that it was okay. About Jason? Yeah, your dad thinks he's not strong enough to be your husband. And that would make you the man of the house in the long run, right? I know that Jason told us he's a businessman and all. But doesn't that give you a little anxiety? He doesn't have the safety that some average 9-to-5 man has. And when it comes to things like living expenses, you'd be the one that would pay more while he's focused on his business, right? Well... Anyway, I know that he has the possibility of coming out with a lot of money if he does well, but what about Carly? She's just working part-time right now. Do you really think things will go well for those two after marriage? Right. And yet Jason still chose her over me. I wonder what will happen to them. Who knows? I'm sure that this is all because Carly doesn't understand everything quite yet, right? She thinks that he has all this money, right? Now that you mention it, she did say that. She said that it was like I had won the lottery. Well, when she was talking to me about him, she never said a thing about his job or the money he's making. But she made it seem like he'd be the one to pay for the whole wedding. So I'm thinking, although the two of them are fine getting married, the marriage she thinks she'll be getting is far from the reality that'll be taking place. I really have no high hopes for them. But do you think that Jason would have told her the truth about all of this? Well, I think that Jason isn't in the right mindset to be saying things about himself that might turn her away. He might have even been eyeing her back when he was with you and lied about all his money so that she would take him. I think the moment he lied to her, she was in his pocket for marriage. But I'm sure he doesn't know about any settlements that might come out of this yet. Huh? That's not going to be something that'll happen, right? I think Carly expects him to do something stupid, and that she can use that as a way of getting money out of him. If that's not what she has planned, then I'm not really sure what she's in this for. If that's really what she wants from their marriage, then she really is a huge idiot. Right? Isn't this going to be great to watch play out? The two of those idiots are going to ruin themselves. Just thinking of it like that, well, it makes me feel a little bit better. Mariah, I know that right now things probably feel awful for you. And I bet you don't have the energy to move on right now, but it's going to be okay. Mom, your dad and I are here for you. We only let Carly have her way with Jason so that she can get what she deserves. We don't even plan to go to that wedding anymore, and we are going to cut ties with her once she realizes the mess she's made for herself. So, let's just support each other as we wait for the big ending. Hey, I'll even take you out tomorrow to meet this really nice lawyer that I know. You can just come along with me and listen while we meet him. Mariah, do you happen to know what day it is? Of course you know, right? It's the day of my wedding. After all, it's the day you had been preparing for us for so long. Why the hell have you decided to text me now? I was just thinking of how you might be at home, sobbing, and so I wanted to check on you. And right now I'm getting my hair done, so I have time to talk. I guess you have a bit of time still. By the way, did you guys hand in the marriage papers at the city office? We sure did. And so now I'm the new wife of Jason. Hey, you had said that Jason has a lot of money, but do you actually know how much he makes in a year? Well, I'm not sure, but if he's able to get a wedding hall like this for us, then he's at least making $100,000 right now, right? Well, no. He's only making $20,000 right now. Seriously? What kind of a joke is that? That wasn't a joke. I know that he said he's a businessman and is around a bunch of high-level people, but really he's more like a freelancer. I was even the one paying for his apartment for a while, and I was planning on paying for most of that wedding. And why would you ever have to be the one to pay that much money? All you are is an office worker. Well, yeah, I work as an office worker, but how does that make my salary low? Oh, please, I know better. You wouldn't actually be making more than Jason, right? I'm only telling you the truth right now, Carly. But if Jason really does have all the money you think he has, why would he be planning to move into your apartment with you? Well, he told me that you took the house from him. Well, that's because this house has been under my name ever since I bought it. So it seems you've been lied to. What the heck are you even talking about? All I can hear right now is a loser trying to make me come down to her level with her. Do you not realize that once we finish up this wedding, we plan to move into a new house? We've talked about living in a penthouse from where we'll have some of the best scenery. Well, that day's never coming. Jason already has nothing in his bank account, and he'll have to deal with a settlement from me for cheating. There's also the wedding costs that he'll need to pay now that I'm not there. You both are going to be living in money borrower's hell for a long time. There's no way that's happening. You really are having a rough time dealing with losing your man to me. And that's why you keep feeding lies like this to me. Mom and Dad are also very much aware that Jason isn't making much money. What? And that's why they ended up saying you both work so well together. You're also both just insufferable people to be around. So you really both are just perfect for each other. What you're saying is bullcrap, right? Not one bit. And also, here's another thing I've heard from Mom. Are you in some debt right now? If you expect Jason to be there to help you pay all of that off, I would really think again. Hey, why did I just hear from Jason that he's starting to catch on to some things? Well, I just told him. I said that he should watch out because you might be trying to take his money. But he's telling me right now that he's not going to help. What's going on? What have you done? So you were being serious about all of this then? I told you that everything I've said thus far has been the truth, right? You kept all this from me. What is wrong with you? There is no reason for me to even be marrying a guy who has no money. I won't even be able to get a settlement from him if he were to slip up. Well, have a great time at that wedding today. There's just no way I can have a good time now. Hey, Mariah! You're making more than Jason is, right? If so, do you think that you can lend me a small amount of money? I have no reason to do that for someone that's stolen my husband, right? Well, I don't need him now. You can have him back as long as you give me some money. I don't need a man like him either. He and I are just exes now. And also, you're pregnant with his baby right now, correct? You have to stay with him so that you can both raise that baby, okay? I'm not pregnant, though. Oh? So that was also a lie, then. Well, with the way things have turned out, I guess that doesn't matter. Mom, Dad, and I have all decided on cutting ties with you after all this as well. Mariah! I'm actually really sorry. Even if you apologize to me, there's nothing I can do for you. I had thought that you were going to be marrying a man with lots of money, and so I became jealous of that. And with the debt I've been in, I thought that Jason would be able to help me out, or at least I could get some money from him in a divorce if he didn't agree to help. And so because of that way of thinking, you decided to steal him from me and marry him? This all seems like the price you have to pay for being such a jerk. I'm sorry. I really, really am sorry. I really didn't do the right thing. I should have thought twice about this. What are you talking about? You're supposed to become happier than me now, right? I mean, I'm already pretty happy that you took that loser off my hands. So that means you should be even happier than I am by the end of today, right? Once Carly had stopped talking to me, she and Jason got into a huge fight in front of everyone at the wedding, and it ended up getting canceled. Of course, because this wedding ended up having a different bride than it was originally supposed to, Carly didn't invite many of her friends as she didn't want them to suspect anything, and the same goes for Jason. But for those that did come and those that already knew of him cheating on me, they all cut ties with both him and Carly. And now, Jason and Carly are going to have to pay me a settlement for the affair, and we'll have to deal with the cost of that wedding getting canceled. So together, the two of them borrowed an enormous amount of money from the bank in the hopes that it'd be enough to cover everything. But then, Jason used most of that borrowed money on paying for the wedding and then some other debts of his as well. My parents knew that Carly would never get enough to pay me after Jason spent most of what they had, and so instead of cutting ties with her like they said before, they told her to go to work at one of the resorts they owned so that she could slowly save up the rest. However, once she has paid everything that I asked for to me, they said that they'd fire her from the resort and then never talk to her again. Also, once they had finished paying off most of the big fees and payments they needed to handle, the two of them got divorced. But this wasn't without them both going to court to fight each other for lying about their situations before the marriage. Even still, they'll come to find that both of themselves are equally to blame for this situation. So they would have been better off just staying together and starting fresh. As for myself, losing my husband and my wedding really ruined my spirits for a little while. But now, after seeing everything play out between those two, I can say that I've made it out of this with zero regrets. I'm sure that if I had stayed with him, something similar to what he did with my sister would have happened to me for sure. So having Carly steal him from me only a month into our marriage really made it way too easy for me to divorce Jason and make it out unscathed. For the time being, I'm not going to be looking for any love and will only focus on my work and my private life alone. I want to give my heart a little time to cool off after something as insane as all this happened. I'll also keep telling myself the same thing my sister would say.